Hey everybody, welcome to GGS Railways. My name is Greg, this is my YouTube channel. Alright, what are we doing tonight? What's going on? So alright, we have this Ives ticket office on the table here. And this is the Ives number 114 ticket office. And this would have been manufactured in 1928. So as you can see, it's just a single piece of tin that has been folded and cut for doors, and the tin litho was applied, and kind of not faring too well. But this is almost 100 years old, so this is part of the Ives slot that we got from Melvin. And my first thought was, let's see if we can find, and surely there's no way that we can find, but we're going to try to find the bottom and the top to this guy. That way we can put it back together. The internet is a funny thing, isn't it? So, but before we get into that, so this kind of ties into a conversation that we had once upon a time, and this kind of demonstrates the point real well, I think. So once upon a time we mused, and this was a popular thing when I made the video, is the hobby dying? Well, no, and I'm used to, no, the hobby is not dying, it's simply evolving, and this is a good example of that. So can you imagine somebody, a child, perhaps, somebody just getting into the hobby, buying this as a building for their model train layout? I mean, this is cool, right? I mean, it's almost 100 years old, but I mean, I don't know of any young person or somebody just getting into the hobby that would buy this for their model train layout. What do you think? Am I onto something? Maybe so. And the same goes for some of our older loved Lionel locomotives and some of the rolling stock and so forth. We think they're great. Maybe not everybody thinks they're as great. So anyway, all right. So this guy here, I mean, he as I mused just a minute ago, has got some problems, and I just figured we could try to find a base, and then maybe later we could find the roof. And well, like I said, the internet is a funny thing. So we get this drop down, we'll look a little closer at it, and then we'll talk about what we did. Alright, so I thought to myself, this guy obviously sits on a base, and it's got these tabs that would sit in the base, and then you fold them over. These obviously have been ripped out of the base because they're still folded over. But I thought, most of them are still here. They look like they're pretty good. And it's got some bends here and there, but surely I could bend all that out. I've done some pretty amazing stuff with some of this tin litho, but this would be something, wouldn't it? So yeah, it's got the corner coming apart here, and another bend here. This guy's obviously been dropped, or something something not great has happened to him in the last almost 100 years. So all right, so I got on the internet. I'm trying to find my base, trying to do my thing, trying to save this guy. And lo and behold, I hopped on the trains.com website, and those are good people. Those are really good people. So one of the things that you may not know about them is that if you wait, the prices will come down, assuming that nobody buys it before the price comes down. And would you look what I found? Wow. That's the same thing, isn't it? So what you might notice is this guy, the tin litho actually looks better, I think, darker, less sun faded than this guy. But wow, this guy is pretty awesome. So you're probably thinking, gosh, Greg, what did you have to pay for something like that? That was probably a fortune. Almost 100 years old. Well, okay, remember when we talked about age doesn't necessarily equal value? Well, this would be a good example of that. I mean, we've got lots of good examples here, don't we? So from trains.com, I believe I paid $30. $30 for this. It's pretty amazing. So anyway, we do have now, and the roof just lifts off, we do have a pattern for a roof, and we do have a pattern for a base, and we may just take the challenge to do that. We might just fabricate that. What do you think? It'd be kind of a cool video to make, I think. So I mean, it's just metal. It's nothing terribly special. And if you had this and could make a pattern out of it, you would know where the holes go for this guy, which would certainly make straightening all these dents and stuff out easier, wouldn't it? So all right, the musings of Greg. So all right, so I told you guys, don't be surprised if you see this on my layout. Now I didn't know it would be its brother, but yes, we're gonna put this on the layout. I'm not sure where we're gonna put it in there. We'll probably take it in there and figure it out here in a minute. Now you notice it's got some rust here on the bottom. This guy doesn't have that, so it's kind of like a tale of two things. This guy was probably really nice before whatever happened to him happened to him. Now, you know, if it was me, probably it was stepped on. I was really bad about stepping on things as a kid, but how about you guys? I don't know. Anyway, so all right, that's ironic that I have this stuff in there on the floor and I don't step on anything anymore. But anyway, so yeah, this has got the ladies' room, the gentleman. This is really cool. I like this quite a bit. I know that probably this doesn't appeal at all to the younger generation, but to me, this is just awesome. All right, so I'm going to go in there and see where we're going to put it, and maybe I'll even show you guys where I put it. Nah, I'm going to show you where to put it. All right, let's go in there. Let's see. All right, guys, so believe it or not, that Ives 114 train station ticket office from 1928 is somewhere in this room. So I'm showing you guys this view because it always amazes me that I'm thinking, you know, gosh, I can't possibly find a place to put something or whatever, and I'll always find a place. So you might notice, and I'm going to zoom in on it here in a minute, that I got the Ives, well, we assume it's the Ives, the train shed here all set up, and that looks really nice over there. So my plan is to go ahead and tie that into the fast track there, the one with Thomas creeping along on it, and yeah, I think that'll be good. And that way the trains can come out of that little shed and get onto that track, and that'll be kind of cool looking, I think. So all right, it's gonna take a little bit of doing to do that, but you know, we can do it. So we're gonna buy some switches and so forth to you know, get it on that track. Anyway, all right, so that's that. So anyway, so what we actually came here to see. So all right, there is a lot going on in here. So I put this guy back here. Let me get this camera adjusted a little bit here. All right, so very cool. I think he looks really cool right there. I think that looks awesome. So very, very cool. So what do you guys think? Do you think that like a young person, as I alluded to earlier, would have any interest in this template stuff? Because I don't know. As a kid, I would have thought it was awesome, but of course, you know, being a older adult now, you know, I think that's just nostalgia at this point, because you know, it doesn't talk, it doesn't do anything. You know, the doors are pretty much stationary, other than they do look like they open, I guess. Anyway, I think it's just super, super cool. So all right, we're gonna have to take the other one, the one that we got from Melvin in the Ives train lot, and we're gonna have to make a base and do some other things. I got it pretty well straightened out as far as, you know, the piece that we have, so I'm pretty confident we can make that work. I was able to spring all those little tabs back to the open position without any hint of them breaking, so I think we're gonna be good on that. So all right. So all right, guys, well, you know what, this has been a pretty cool evening. I had not thought that we would find an Ives 114 ticket office just, you know, just like that. So I guess, you know, that kind of ties into something we were saying the other day. You know, I think that a lot of the things that we as probably older adults thought were rare or, you know, scarce or whatever, I think as some of the hobbyists, you know, get out of the hobby, you know, whether they pass away or, you know, they just simply can't be in the hobby anymore, I think we're going to see more and more of this type of stuff, and I don't think it's going to be nearly as scarce or nearly as rare as probably we once thought it was. All right, guys, well, I've had a blast. I mean, I have had a real blast setting all this up. So I actually shot this last segment in the video last night, but for whatever reason my audio wasn't working, so yeah. You know, gotta love it, technology. All right, guys, well, until next time, I think we're gonna call this about it. Let's take another look, you know, just for a parting shot at our ticket office over here, and then we're gonna call it probably about it. All right, who else thinks it's ironic that Thomas the Tank Engine is running alongside a Ives ticket office from 1928. I think that is awesome. I love that. I love mixing things up. I love mixing the things that probably you should mix. Because I mean, I don't know. It just amuses the heck out of me. What do you guys think? All right, guys. Well, you know what? This has definitely been some shenanigans. I'm loving it. Loving it a lot. So yeah, I can hardly wait to get the switches and stuff for my little train shed over here. And that'll be cool to see the Ives locomotives pull out of probably an Ives locomotive shed onto that track. I think that will be awesome. I think that will be worth the price of admission right there. All right, guys, until next time, GGS Railways out. Wow. So awesome.